I mean, just to highlight some of that, like we ran a video of you all in the ring talking on our YouTube. 117,000 views on YouTube. Most of our stuff does not do traffic like that. We'll get aggregated a lot. I ran a clip of you appearing last night on NXT. My clip alone, 215,000 views on Twitter.
Damn,
like people,
dude. Damn.
People love you. And I mean, like, obviously that's not a prerequisite in wrestling, but it has to feel good to be loved in that capacity after all the hard work and especially creative output that you have put into this.
I kind of just felt like I felt like one day it would reach critical mass and people would go back and find the old stuff and think, hey, this is pretty entertaining. I kind of just become okay with it being like this niche thing. And I thought, well, the people that like it really like it. So I'll keep making it. I'll keep doing it. And then I feel like wrestling's had, sometimes it's like music, like a particular genre is popular and then something else is popular. And I just kind of, for when it comes to creative stuff, there's like, I think it was Tom Platz, who was actually a bodybuilder, who said when he stood on the stage, he wasn't trying to like appease the judges. He was doing bodybuilding according to Tom Platz. And I think like I always encourage people, obviously you have to be mindful of, your coaches and the audience and stuff like that. But when it comes to who you are and your act, it has to be wrestling according to you, whether it's in or it's not. And I felt like I was doing it for such a long time where that wasn't, the most popular style of wrestling it was in. And then it just feels like now my stuff has started to gain traction when it's an era that is more suited to someone like myself. So timing wise, I'm pretty fortunate,
It sort of reminded me, there was a band called Capital Cities. They had a big hit song, Safe and Sound, but they released it like...
Oh, dude, I love that song. I love that song, bro.
They released it like 3 times. There are 3 videos for it, and it's like they knew it was going to be a hit. It just had to hit at the right time, the right audience. So if you go back, they released 3 different versions of that, and then finally, it was a major hit for them.
Wow.
I mean, I believe in Joe Hendry thing, like, people who have known what you do, they knew the words already. They were familiar with it. And now it's hitting because I feel like it was always meant to hit at the right time, and it did.
Yeah. Yeah, it's 5 years. 5 years goes quick, man. Like, I don't know if you feel this, Sean, but like when I'm assuming because of what you do, like I'm assuming there's parallels in terms of being a wrestler. You have to love this to do it, to get through all the tough times.
Of course.
Doing what you do is at the same thing. You have to love the journalism aspect of it to get through everything that it takes to get to your level. Do you feel it's the same thing there? Just before
the way
I go on?
The way I point, the thing I say to people when they're like, "Oh, look how much money you're making off of Patreon," I say, if you counted up all the hours I've spent doing this, I wouldn't make minimum wage over the last 14 years.
Exactly right. Exactly. It's like you have to absolutely love it and live it and breathe it. And remind me. I'm sorry. What was the question? I had this great point.
I can't remember
the
question. I was just excited to talk to you, Joe. That's it.
Yeah, we were talking about. We were mostly talking about
how it feels to be loved and have something that you put all your creative output into.
Yeah,
hit like this.
Yeah, so I think that's the thing. You have to absolutely love every aspect of this game, and then when it really starts to pay off, it's like, oh, that's very cool. But for anybody who's passionate about anything, and I think this is where I was trying to relate, we'd still be doing it even if it wasn't like all these things are happening, because we have a passion for it. And I think you need that passion to get through it. And I've always said this to people, like, you just, at no point did it ever go like, I'm quitting, I'm stopping. It was just, it had to happen. I just had this passion for it, and I still do. And I love it. And I just tell people, stay in the game, because I can't tell you, it's funny. I've been self-employed for a long time. I've been basically a full-time wrestler since 2016. But after the pandemic, just before TNA, there was a point in time where I had to, you know, do some other work, and I've still got some other things that I do in like a shoot job. Like I've got like my own little businesses and stuff. But there was a point where I was doing telesales before I got to TNA, and that is where I actually got the character elements for the Joe Hendry character, because I had this boss that was just like, you'd have to go to these Zoom meetings and he'd be like, everyone stand up. And we'd all have to stand up on Zoom. And I'm going, oh my God. And I remember he went, look outside. Look outside. And he's, no, really look. And I'm having to turn my head and I'm like, oh, this guy is unbearable. You know, and that was the character. It was based on this guy. But like, yeah, I was doing telesales a couple of years ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And but you know what? I just wouldn't change a thing. I wouldn't change a thing.